Hello, friends. It's July 31st, about 8 o'clock in the morning, getting ready for my trip out to the west. Going to see my niece, Marissa, in a play in Cripple Creek, Colorado. And on the way, I'm going to see a couple old friends. It should be fun. We're starting out at, I set the trip-ometer to zero. I got this honking vehicle. They gave me an upgrade because they didn't have the car I wanted, so it's probably going to cost me a lot to get there. I'll keep you updated. I've got plenty of SD cards. It's going to take about 60 hours of driving, so I'm going to record the whole 60 hours so you can watch, not miss a minute of this. All right, I'm kidding. We're going. All right. I plan to do like a little update every once in a while, see how things are going. Talk to you soon. Okay, it's the morning of day 2. It's a little after 6. We're in Lexington. Had dinner with Chuck and his wife Karen. It was great. Drove 668 miles yesterday. Now we're going to Texas to see my friend Chris. Haven't seen him in 30 years, so that's going to be interesting to see him. The roads are horrible. There are all kinds of construction going on. It's taking a whole lot longer than I thought it would. So we're going to Texas. Good morning. It's August 2nd, the third day of my trip. Yesterday I drove 894 miles. Texas is huge. The map does not do it justice. It is really big. Anyways, yesterday I met with an old friend, haven't seen in 30 years, Chris Cafaro. Same guy I remember from college. Affable, friendly, a little more mellow than he was when he was in college, but that's true about everybody, no? Yesterday we went to an authentic Tex-Mex restaurant called Mi Cucina, and it was delicious. As I'm heading south and west, the people are getting friendlier. They're just willing to talk and say hello, which is a little strange being from New York. It took a little getting used to. However, I've noticed the drivers in Texas, the concept of the directional signal seems to be lost on a lot of them. They certainly don't use it to indicate their intentions to turn. Today I'm going to see Chris McChesney and visit with him. Maybe I'll buy a Stetson while I'm down here, huh? We'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's August 3rd. It's day 4 of the trip. Yesterday I drove 197 miles into Austin, so it's just 3 hours. It was a short trip. Bought a Stetson. I asked the salesman how it looked. He said it looked good, except for the fact that I had it on backwards. My friend Chris McChesney came and picked me up in his Porsche convertible. We drove around all day in that, had a blast. We went to lunch at the Oasis, went to dinner at a place called the Salt Lick, which is not as naughty as it sounds. They have a TARDIS in the front yard. I knew we were at the right place when I saw that. It's huge. It's got a smoke pit right in the center of the restaurant. We had some barbecue, and it was absolutely delicious. I didn't mention the speed limit in Texas is 75 miles an hour, which means you can go as fast as you want, which is lucky for Chris because he's got a bit of a lead foot. I found myself reaching for the emergency side passenger brake. Actually isn't there, but I don't know if you've ever had that feeling where you go try to stop the car from the passenger side. I did several times. We drove by this radar sign, the ones that have the speed limit, and then underneath it flashes how fast you're going. And Chris looked at it and he said, "I can do better." Chris actually looks at them as challenges. Going to Cripple Creek in Denver to see my niece next. That's a 900-mile drive, so I got 14 hours ahead of me, which is the longest leg of the trip. It's Cripple Creek, so nothing more politically incorrect than that, I don't think. Man, you think it'd be like Handy-Capable Creek or Differently Abled Creek or something not quite so rude. All right, that's it for this installment. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. It's day 5 of the trip, August 4th. Yesterday we drove 897 miles. It took about 14 hours. The drive up the mountain part of this to get to the hotel is like treacherous, left, right kind of driving. And if you go the wrong way, you just plummet to your death. So that was kind of scary, but I made it. Got to the hotel around 9 o'clock last night. It was built in 1901. It used to be an old hospital, so they decided to go with what else? A hospital theme. There's all kinds of hospital equipment out in the hallway, and the room doors have names like isolation on the doors. It's actually kind of neat. You wouldn't think a hospital theme would work, but for them it actually does. It works well. When I got into the lobby of the hotel, there were people that were just saying all kinds of wonderful things about the show that my niece is in. She was they had gone to see it that night, and they were just saying how wonderful it was, and it was nice to hear. So I can't wait to see it myself, and I'm already proud of her. I haven't even seen it, so. Nothing like that first cigarette in the morning. They got candy cigarettes here in Cripple Creek. You want to get the kids started off right. They taste just like I remember them, too. They're not good for me at all. Anyways, today is August 5th, day 6 of the journey. We went 88 miles yesterday, went into the town, saw my niece in her 4-woman play. They were singing, dancing, a little bit of comedy thrown in there. Everybody in the audience enjoyed themselves. My sister, my brother-in-law, and I had a great time watching her. She's very, very talented. All the girls were talented, but I think my niece was the most talented. But live theater is a lot of fun. Spent one last night here at the Cripple Creek Hospitality Center. Spent the night in isolation. It's like sleeping in a museum. It's not for everybody, I don't think, but it is a lot of fun. We're doing our last couple of miles today before I have to return this rental. Thanks for following me so far. Bye-bye. Look at that. See that? That's my house. I'm home. It's August 6th. I've been on the road for 7 days. 4,631 miles. 15 states. I tried to get my picture in every state, but I wasn't successful at it. But I got most of them. I'd like to, what else? I'd like to thank Chuck and Karen Tremblay, Chris Cafuro and Chris McChesney for being such gracious and wonderful hosts. They made the trip extra special. And mostly I'd like to thank Marissa and my niece Marissa and her parents for inviting me to Colorado to see her show. It was I never said the name of the show. It's called the Marvelous Wonderettes, and the show was in fact marvelous and wonderful. It was fresh. It was brilliant. Lastly but not leastly, I want to thank you, dear viewer, for humoring me and watching this video. If you're watching it to the end, thank you. I know it was a lot more fun to make this video than it is probably to watch it. So thank you so very much. God bless you. Bye-bye.